Welcome back. There are hundreds of tips on the internet for winterizing your home. But what should you really do to prepare your home for an efficient and cozy, oh, sounds nice. Do we have to say that word though?
Wintertime is just about here. We're getting colder. We have Justin Coling, a real estate agent from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties, with some great advice for us today. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Whether or not Chris wants to talk about winter, it's starting to get cooler. We know that. And you brought in some great things here to talk a little bit about winterizing our home. Kind of where do you start?
Yeah, let's start on the exterior just because obviously you never know when the winter's actually going to come. So let's get that out of the way first of all. I like to, if you have any significant cracks in your driveways or sidewalks, you're going to want to seal those up because what happens is in the wintertime, water's going to get in there, freeze, and then it could create a heave or some voids, and that's going to be a very, very costly thing that's going to have to get fixed in the future. If you do have sprinkler systems, you're going to want to get that professionally blown out just so there's no water in the lines and those break in the wintertime when it freezes as well, and then you have to tear up your lawn and all that stuff. Yeah. If you have a sump pump, you can divert that into the sewer system if you have that option. But if you don't have that option, make sure you have your hose disconnected. Because if that freezes, you won't be able to have the sump pump the water out. You'll have a sump pump backup in the middle of winter, and obviously that's no fun. Disconnect every single hose that you have on your spigots. You can keep those hoses in your garage or in a shed. Just don't leave them outside because if you leave them outside over the winter, it's just going to be more hoses you have to, pay for in the springtime. The last thing usually on the outside is the gutters. Gutters get full of debris, leaves. If it freezes, it gets really, really heavy over the winter, so that can start tearing down the gutters. Also, it'll start ripping away at your shingles towards where the gutters are, so that's a really, really easy maintenance you can do in the fall time.
Good stuff, man. So what about inside? What can I be doing inside to save some money?
Yeah, inside, the most important thing is the furnace. Get your furnace serviced. Make sure that you do that every year, if not every other year, because you don't want to wait until it's 30 degrees out and you're 40th in line and waiting for the technician to come out, and they're going to charge a premium for that. Make sure you're changing your furnace filters probably every 1 to 2 months, and make sure that your return registers aren't blocked so your furnace can work more efficiently. A couple of things I brought here. You could do this window shrink wrap kit. Some people like doing this. It kind of looks ugly on the windows, so if you don't want to go in this option, you could always just buy some of these things to put on the windowsills or kind of around the doors. My favorite thing is this guy right here. This is a bottom door seal. This will help keep all the heat in and not escape from the bottom of your door. And you can put these on any exterior door, and the door can still open and shut. You just cut it to length and put it on there. One last thing for the windows, if you don't want to do the shrink wrap, you can get this foam window seal. It's nice because you can put it on the window, slide it right up, and it creates a nice solid contact, so then there's not any heat losing or any cold air coming in.
Doesn't matter if it looks bad, it's going to keep you warm. Let's talk about cost, though. We know on the backside you said it's really going to cost a lot if you don't do some of these things. Is it a good investment to do some of these things right away?
Absolutely. So, I mean, all the stuff on this table is really cheap. This is about $3. Probably the most expensive thing is this guy right here, and that's about $15. To get your furnace serviced, maybe around $100, and then if you have a sprinkler system, depending on how many different ports you have for your sprinkler, that's about $80.
How do people get a hold of you? Because you can come in and tell them, what should be done in their homes as well. Or if you're looking at buying a home, this should be done before you buy.
Absolutely. Trust me, I'm not a handyman by any means, but when I'm going through houses with buyers, I'm looking at these things in the fall time. When I'm going to a listing appointment, I want to make sure all these checklists are done. And if you have any questions, I have this checklist that is in my email. I can send it on to you.
You know what? I think that your business card should say realtor/handyman because you sound like you know what you're talking about. This is all great stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. Great advice. All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.